Hello everyone, and this video cast I will show you how to deploy your Vert.x microservice application on Heroku. Big difference between Heroku and other providers is that their dynos are isolated on the network, so you cannot rely on the event bus to exchange messages. So in this case we'll deploy in two different dynos and make sure that they can communicate with each other using the Service Discovery API along with Circuit Breaker API to overcome failures. So let's look at some examples. The time service is one of the services I want to deploy, and basically it will just return the current time millis as a JSON payload. It's a pretty standard Vert.x web application with a router that on a request to slash will return this JSON. In order to deploy this service on Heroku, we need to enable the service discovery, and for that we will use Heroku own Redis backend to store the configuration. So in order to do that, this would be the code. I declare a couple of variables like the time service, where should I listen with my HTTP server for Heroku. This is Heroku internal, and then I declare two variables that I also need, like what's the public facing URL for this machine, so my microservices can communicate with it, and where is the Redis service running. So once I have this information, it's pretty straightforward. We deploy the time service vertical as we would normally, and then we declare a service discovery object, and we pass the location of Redis host, port, and auth, and then we publish the service with a public facing URL on port 80, which is the default, and the slash. So let's start doing some Heroku stuff. So we go to the time service. This is the code. Heroku works mostly with Git flows, so we need to create a Git project. We add everything to it. Let's see, we should also add the git ignore. Just everything is here. So far so good. So git commit minus all message initial import. Sign. Okay. So now we start with Heroku. We do Heroku create to create a new app, and now this will add a git remote to my git configuration, and once it's there I can start doing stuff like git push to the Heroku remote my master branch, and we'll see that Heroku will trigger a remote build. This is standard Maven stuff because Heroku relies on Maven. You don't need to configure anything, it's just out of the box provided to you. So now our build is complete. It will do some internal stuff, and it says it's deployed and started. So far so good. So now we will start adding Redis to our deployment, because we need to have Redis. So in order to do that, we will use Heroku add-ons create Heroku Redis, and the plan I'm using is the OviDev. Of course, if you have a more expensive one, you can use that one, but for showing how it works, this is good enough. So it's now adding it here. This will take some time, so we can do stuff like Heroku logs tail. There are some errors, mostly because configuration stuff wasn't there yet, and we need to wait until the Redis service is deployed and available on the network. And that will happen once you see some logging happening here. In the meantime, we can add the other configuration variable. So the other configuration variable that we said that we need is the public URL. And because I don't remember the name of the machine, I would just go to the web console. So I would go here. I probably need to refresh this page. And there you go. It's a bit slow, but anyway, let's look at the settings. Basically what I'm interested here is this domain name. And now I can either do it on the console or just go here on the command line, and I can do Heroku config set public URL is this. It's just setting the variable. And let's look at the logs. See what's happening now. We don't get any feedback. It's kind of strange. Let's try again. Oh, there you go. There's something happening. Everything appears to be running. So we can quickly go here in the test by pasting the URL. Okay, yes, it works. So our service, at least it's deployed. So now we have the first service running. We can go on the second service. And the second service is just a consumer. So basically it should be the same concept. So we have a main. However, we will doing here something different. So basically we have kind of the same setup. We need to know the Redis URL in order to set up the service discovery. And we do the service discovery. Then we define a circuit breaker to our time service. And here I define a couple of non-default values for max failures, timeout and reset timeout, because I want to see things faster than probably you would. Probably want to increase these values up. I set up here a SOC.js handler because I will use some visualization to see how are the circuit breakers behaving. And then the important part is here. Once there is a request to the slash, to the root, I will get a client from my service discovery, which I have no idea where it is. And if there's no client because there's an error, I'll reply with a fallback JSON message, which is right down here, like oops, time service is not responding. If there is a client, I will execute it and return whatever came back. And if there was an error, I'll return with a fallback JSON. This fallback JSON could be totally different if there's no client or if there's an error. It's up to you. So that's pretty much it. So let's go back to the terminal. Let's create a new one. So I will go into the web service. Let me see what's going on here. Do I have any stuff here? Yes, let me just start by removing the Git directory and don't even clean. So everything should be clean now. Let me see, not that many stuff going on here. Okay, so I now do git init, like in the other project. Git add everything. Git status. Okay, so I now git add dot git ignore because I want that one. Git status again. Okay, there are a couple of things here that I can list here. So dots class path dot project and dot settings are not really important. So if I do git status, git add, git ignore, so everything is green, everything. Note here that there are a lot of bootstrap, but this is just some HTML page I will use to see what's going on with the circuit breakers and the discovery service. So now that all my code is in, and that's pretty much everything in the main that I just covered before, I can now do git commit initial import, sign my commit, okay, and now I will start doing the Heroku stuff. So again, as in the other case, Heroku create, so it will create a different dyno, so it's running on a total different virtual machine, and I need to set up I need to push my code. So Heroku push to Heroku my master branch. Oh, sorry, not Heroku, but git. So it's pushing the code, and in the meantime we need to find out the configuration of Redis that's running on the other dyno, and either we can go through the web interface or we can just go on the console. So I'm here on the first console on time service, and I can just do Heroku config, and there it is. So I will just copy paste this value to the second one, so I can now do Heroku config set Redis URL is this, and it should be doing something. So now I can do Heroku logs del. So you see that the configuration was set and the application is started. So we can now switch to the web browser. So on the web browser, because I don't know the URL, what I'm going to do is Heroku open, and this would start the browser. So in the Eden Tor I got the time, so let's go here and go to discovery HTML. It's just a simple utility, so I can enumerate like that the date is coming from the DRY Revine 88996 Heroku app, which is this one. So it's not, that's what it's getting. So this is like the configuration of what's going on. And let me try to arrange my screens here in a way that I can do this one here. And now I will do a new tab with circuits HTML. So there is one circuit breaker that it's closed. There are no failures, so everything seems to be fine. So if I would now go here and paste it here, I should get the time. So everything is fine. So now the interesting thing to notice is what would happen if I would go to the time service and there was a failure. And in order to simulate a failure, what I can do here is that I say to Heroku, please turn down this dyno. So what I'm gonna do here is Heroku PS scale web 0. So 0 dynos for my application. So if everything is fine, I now reload. Let me see if I didn't stop the right one. Well, it keeps saying 1. It's kind of strange because it says 1, what I basically don't want 1. So I don't know what's going on with the Heroku command there, but I can go here on the personal apps. Ravine, and I can see that says it's fine, which is kind of strange. Activity. So it's sorry. I need to say equals 0. That was the problem. So now there are no running dynos. Okay. I would go here and I would do a refresh, and you see that my circuit breaker is now handling the messages for me, so it's okay. So if I go here again and say okay, enable it, I'm scaling, so my dyno is up. If I would start doing this, and again, now it's working. So as you can see, with Vert.x you can easily implement a microservice application, either using the discovery service or the event bus to communicate. Everything is possible, and you can even work around failure using the circuit breaker that will handle all these failures for you. So I hope you enjoyed, and this is pretty much everything I had to say this time. Stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.